Okay, so good day everyone. So I will discuss to you our lesson 1 for our chapter 3, the information age. Now, what is the objectives or what are the objectives of this lesson? Now, at the end of this lesson, the learning outcomes are define the information age, discuss the history of information age, understand the factors that need to be considered in checking website sources. So our society nowadays is highly modernized, automated, data-driven, and technologically advanced. So that's best describes our society nowadays as evidence kung paano ang information could be transferred or shared quickly. So you will or I prepare a video, no, a short video, no, a day living in a smart home. So see how fast the information transfers.
Hey Google, good morning.
It is 7:15 a.m. Currently in Fort Mill it's 69 and cloudy. Today, there'll be scattered thunderstorms, with a forecasted high of 84 and a low of 65. Here's the latest news.
Hey Google, make me a pot of coffee. Hey Google, I'm leaving.
Okay, have a great day, Michael. Setting the Nest Guard alarm to home and guarding.
Hey Google, I'm home.
Hi, Michael. Welcome home.
Hey Google, show me a recipe for breaded chicken.
There are 9 ingredients. You can ask for the next ingredient.
Hey Google, turn on the dining room light.
Okay, turning on the dining room light.
Hey Google, broadcast, it's dinner time.
Okay, broadcasting now. It's dinner time.
Hey Google, I want to watch a movie. Hey Google, good night.
Okay. So, ano yung napansin nyo bukod sa ah, nag-broadcast siya ng dinner time, eh mag-isa lang siya sa bahay. So, bukod pa doon, no? Um, see how fast the data transfers, no, from their home to the office. No, nakikita niya kung ano yung nangyayari sa loob ng bahay niya, nauutusan niya through the data yung sprinklers and whatsoever. So napakabilis na ng transfer ng data nowadays. So we have areas in our society that have been influenced tremendously by the information age. First is the communication. So the information age uh, brought about many new inventions and innovations sa ating society ngayon and sa human uh, kind o human beings. In karamihan sa communication services natin like texting, email, and social media, they develop and no? And the world has not been the same since then. People learn new languages easier because of the application sa translator. So, hindi na natin kailangan maghanap ng books, no, na aaralin natin para matuto tayo ng different languages. Perhaps, napakarami na nating alam na lengguwahe ngayon, no? Which is dati, pagka magta-travel tayo, may dala pa tayong libro para uh, ma-translate natin yung sinasabi nila or ma-translate natin sa sarili natin yung sasabihin natin. No? So, napakarami ng application ng translator. So, people around the world can become more educated na. Since we have online education, napakarami na rin ng opportunity for education. Now, next is the economics. So, kung ikukumpara natin yung days before and the age now, no, the information age, there is a fast communication for businesses. No? It is used to have, dati kasi, business is used to have a limited areas of operation and it was expensive to reach customers in far location. So, kung ako may business and magba-branch out ako outside the country and the communication is not like this, no? Napakahirap kasi every time na mag-inventory ko or whatsoever, no, may business matters ako doon sa branch na yon, pupuntahan ko siya. Hindi kagaya ngayon na even wala ako doon sa area na yon, I can do business. No? So, an information economy is where the productivity and competitiveness of units or agents in the economy will it be the firms, the regions, religions, no, or nations depend mainly on their capacity to generate, process, and to apply efficiently knowledge-based information. No? Dinidescribe siya ngayon as an economy kung saan ang information is both the currency and a product. No? Ang information ngayon is a currency. No? What makes information plentiful in this economy nowadays is the pervasiveness na ginagamit ang information and communication technology or the ICT. No? Example na lang natin ang banking. No? Example is the banking without boundaries. For the first time in the 300 years, no, the very nature of banking ay nagbago. So we still made to handle money. No, we still handle money, but information in terms of information, not money physically. So, it is now the lifeblood of our industry. For example, na dyan is the electronic payment systems like the GCash. No, we have money, we handle money, but as terms or as means of information. Information na lang yung hawak natin sa pera natin. We can do business doing payments through the information. So, banking without boundaries. Di na natin kailangang pumunta sa bangko para lang magbayad or kumuha ng pera at bayaran yung ating business. From what was essentially yun yung transaction-based business natin sa banks. No? So, kung saan ang customers ay pupunta sa'yo, no? Magbabayad physically ng pera or hindi or ngayon is hindi na, no? And banking has to make the leap into what is essentially a sale and marketing culture, no? new culture, ang trabaho ng bangko or ang bangko is dinidefine na ngayon as solely by its ability to add value to the customer's relationship. No? Yun na lang ang binavalue nila ngayon, the customer's relationship, kasi the more the customer will invest to you, the more data na ipapasok nyo sa'yo is mas maganda para sa kanila, or mas proof or mas beneficial para sa kanila, which that breaks down into acquiring, analyzing, integrating, and leveraging of information about, from, in for the benefit of each individual's customers. So relationship to the customers na lang, kasi ang dami ng bangko ngayon, no? And ang iniingatan nila is the trust and yung relationship nila sa customers. The last but obviously not the least sa ating fundamental changes goes to the very heart though, or how the banking is done. Ano ba yung what used to happen only in branches in during banking hours, no, can now happen not just anywhere in the world at any time of the day or night, no? Kahit gabi pwede kang mag-conduct or mag business, no, but also uh, pwede kang magbayad, pwede kang mag-withdraw anytime, anywhere. No, you can send and transfer money every time of the day and night. So, um, it is also just about any delivery channel a customer cares to select. Pwede na rin tayong mag-order online and magbayad online. So, the delivery is faster na through communication and transferring of data also. Excuse me. So it makes transactions easily in simplest term, no, in our economics. So economers or e-commerce redefined organization information boundaries from payment. No. Transactions can be conducted over the internet or online transactions. No. And the relationship can strengthen and streamline. So in the digital age, ang tawag na kasi sa economy natin ngayon is digital age or information age. Business can reach a global market by using technologies such as advertising on social media, creating an online store, doing online sales, and customer service, among others. Companies gaya ng Amazon, Shopee, Lazada, TikTok Shop, they are called modern retail businesses. They are retail businesses. Kumbaga, tinda-tindahan sila na maliliit. Pero, they are characterized, or the characteristics of information age is sa kanila. No, yung business model nila. And anybody can buy or sell their good or services using the platform from wherever they are in the world. That is how the information influence our economic. So, of course, there is a positive impact. No, napakabilis na ng transaction, but there is also a negative impacts of that. No? With online businesses, ang talamak ang fraud and untrustworthy companies and customers. Kasi, or it becomes the main challenge para sa e-commerce or economic natin ngayon. Challenge siya kasi napakadami talagang scams. Napakadaming scams. And giving out your hard-earned money with a click. Sa isang iglap lang, sa isang click lang, ubos agad. No? Add to cart, no? Order agad, buy now. So, giving your hard-earned money with a click of a button to a faceless individual is not a simple act. No, the trust is a matter dito. In the customer, also tayo, hindi natin sigurado if yung binayaran nating goods na i-deliver sa atin has the quality, or kung i-deliver ba talaga siya sa atin. Hindi natin malalaman din yung quality until we receive the item. Okay, so that is how the the information age influence our economics. So another area is the industry. So the Industrial Revolution is now incorporating information to make decisions and produce better products. So the positive ways that data change the industries is the technology and the technology na ginagamit natin in the digital age. Nakatulong yan sa industries natin to create a product that meets user needs very fast. No? And technologies such as the 3D printing, which is also known as additive manufacturing, are changing how industries are producing new, better products. Kung dati is human power ang ginagamit natin, ngayon, and factories like malalaking machines, no? Ngayon, there is a 3D printing na ginagamit ang mga manufacturer natin, which produce bago at mas better na products. So, yung additive technology na yan is going to make our home small production industries din. Kasi nga, small machine siya na kaya nating dalhin sa bahay at pwede nating gawing business sa bahay. Kasi nga, hindi na natin kailangan mag-facilitate ng malaking factories para lang makagawa tayo ng bagong products. So, since yung 3D painting ay isa lang siyang maliit na printer na kayang-kaya mong ilagay sa isang kwarto, no? And kaya mo nang makapag-produce ng products. For example, yung product na lalagyanan ng makeup or lalagyanan ng patungan ng sabon, no? Kaya niya mag-produce ng ganong product physically, the 3D painting, no? And your room will be small enough, no, to be used as a factory ng iyong product. It will transform your home to manufacturing products that you desire. So on the flip side, ang digital technology is nagpa-facilitate ng copying of product design. So that is the negative impact naman ng fast um, facing or changing ng ating industries. Ang negative effect niyan is nagkakaroon tayo ng copyrighted products which has or which can lead to substandard and fake products in the market. So napakaraming imitations kasi nga napakadali nang mag-produce ng products kaya ang dami nating imitate products which is mas cheaper and mas kinakagat ng tao. And it simply use people, no, to copy other products and sell them. Kaya simula sa bag, sapatos, lahat ng branded products natin is meron ng imitations kasi napakadali na at napaka-cheap na ng pag-produce ng products natin. So, the technology of the product design and yung paggamit natin is changing very fast to the point na yung ibang product, they become obsolete before they even leave the company warehouse. Kumbaga, absolute na siya, wala na siya kaagad bago pa siya mailabas ng company doon sa warehouse natin. And that leads to wasting and pollution of our environment. Since ang karamihan sa products natin ngayon ay gumagamit ng biodegradable or non-biodegradable materials. So, karamihan talaga sa waste natin ngayon na dinedispose is electronic waste, which takes a long time to biodegrade if they will ever degrade. Napakatagal niyang ma-degrade. So, kasi karamihan talaga non-biodegradable ang ginagamit like plastics, no, silicones. So, yan na. Kung dati ang ginagamit lang sa paggawa ng basket is buli. Buli ba yun? Buli or buri, hindi ko alam eh. Basta yun lang, no, or banig, no. Yun lang yung gawa sa yun lang yung ginagamit which is biodegradable siya. Ngayon, ang ginagawa na ay silicone, plastic, metal, and whatsoever na napakatagal ma-degrade. So, it leads to pollution and climate change. So, that is the negative impact. So, this is the 3D printing, 3D printing na sinasabi ko. So, this is an example.
Desktop Metal is making 3D metal printers in 2 sizes.
This is the DM Studio system. It's the first machine that lets you print metal parts in an office. Literally, you roll this in, fits through any door, plug it in,
And there's a larger one for mass production.
It starts around $500,000 and it goes up to several million depending on the configuration.
CEO Rick Fulop explains it's the same inkjet technology that other 3D printing machines use, but faster and cheaper than welding or melting metal with lasers.
In the laser system, this part would be $80. This part is $4 with our process.
The goal is to make 3D printing scalable on the production line for various industries.
This technology can be applied for everything from stainless steel to titanium. It's very suitable to automotive, it's suitable to heavy duty, it's suitable to making valves, it's suitable to airplane parts, high-end consumer electronics, to many, many applications for this type of technology.
3D printing has long been a novel technology in search of a huge market. And according to Wohlers Associates, production applications for 3D printing could eventually grab at least 5% of the worldwide manufacturing economy and translate into $640 billion in annual sales. Other companies are taking notice. HP and 3D Systems are making the shift.
It's been around for 20, 25 years, and the reality is that to date, it was all prototyping. So the bulk of it was prototyping, and for the first time, the next 20 years is going to be about end-use part production.
Desktop Metal counts BMW and Caterpillar as customers. The company has raised $277 million with backing from GE Ventures, Lowe's, BMW, Alphabet's venture arm GV, and most recently, Ford.
Clearly, automotive is a great market for our technology and probably will be the largest market for this type of technology.
Desktop Metal employs 150 people, mostly engineers. Along with R&D, this latest funding round will go toward increasing that staff and reach, with plans to extend to more markets, including Europe and Asia. Ann Mostu, Bloomberg, Boston.
Okay, so yan yung 3D printing. No? As you can see, ang kanilang mga partners or ang mga nagpapagawa sa kanila is yung mga big companies like BMW, no, mga sasakyan, yung mga parts noon, napakabilis na kasi mas marami na sila napoproduce. Mga parts ng airplanes and whatsoever. So, isa pa sa negative impact nun is nababawasan yung manpower. So, next areas no, na apektado pa rin no, ng malaking naaapektuhan ng information age is our health. So, to begin, ang information technology enables health practitioners to store and to retrieve data relating to a patient's health records. Napakabilis na ngayon. And it also enhances the communication of patient information through a legible format that anyone can use. So as a result of that, nababawasan niya yung chance ng medication errors. And finally, kaya niyang makagawa ng easier or mas napapadali niya yung pag-retrieve ng patient's information through a database without new health checks. So, nangyayari kasi minsan kapag for example, may record ka na doon or you have been admitted before doon sa isang hospital na yon, and then bumalik ka siguro after 3 years, hindi na nila makita kung manually yung iyong record, hindi na nila makikita yon. But if there is a database sa isang hospital na yon, then makikita kaagad nila yung records mo doon na you've been operated since or naoperahan ka pala nung 2019, something like that, no, for example. Mas mabilis na ang retrieve ng patient's information. Hindi ka na kailangang i-health check ulit. Hindi na kayo na kailangan kasi nga meron na silang record. And all of the above, no, ang technologies sa healthcare natin have a thing in common. They improve health and patient safety. So, ang industry natin is napakabilis na nag-move forward, no, to an age kung saan ang self-diagnosing is just around the corner. No, napakadali nang i-diagnose ang sakit ngayon and ang symptoms kasi available na siya sa internet, no, sa Google. No, kaya lang nakaka-overthink kapag ka ganun, no, kasi meron na tayong pagka may symptoms tayong nararamdaman, isi-search agad natin yung symptoms na yun and then nakikita na natin. So the self-diagnosis is there. No, na sini-self-diagnose natin, umiinom tayo ng mga gamot that is not prescribed by the doctors. And there is also an online health services na rin, which is you can check up, no? Kaya mo mag-check up, magpa-check up with kahit nandoon ka lang sa bahay. No? And ang transaction nyo is pwedeng online din. No? If there is a payment man. So, yung paggamit din natin ng mga wearables computer, gaya ng smartwatch, no, it can also take this to the next level. Kasi nga, kaya nating um, i-bridge yung interface between the patient and the clinics and the clinic, no. So for example, the wearable devices like smartwatch, kaya niyang um, kaya niyang i-track yung iyong heartbeat, yung stress level, yung whatsoever, no? Kaya niyang i-track yung heart blood, yung iyong blood level, something like this. So, kaya mo nang mag-self-diagnose for wearing that wearable devices. So lastly is the environment. So in our environment, of course, kitang-kita naman na ang effect ng information age, no? So before the digital age ng technologies, karamihan sa waste natin are biodegradable and non-toxic as I said earlier or kanina. No? And the positive impacts ng technology or ng information age, how fast the data transfer sa ating environment is nakatulong siya to develop better methods na ang pag-conserve ng our environment by monitoring the issues such as yung waste disposal natin. No? Although marami tayong waste, nakapag-create din sila ng waste kung papaano mapabilis yung pag-degrade ng mga non-biodegradable materials na ginagamit, yung disposals nun. And also, may mga bagong technologies na kayang mag-create ng better ways of recycling materials that are not biodegradable. So, the negative impacts niyan is ang major casualty talaga ng information age is kung papaano nakakaapekto sa environment natin in negative ways. No? And most of the materials and hardware produced and used in modern technology as are not biodegradable, and that means if they are not recycled, which is or which most are not talaga, no, then they pollute our environment. Also, yung mga raw materials na ginagamit ng mga manufacturing, those are devices gaya ng mga computers and smartphones. They are mined which affect the environment. Kasi yan may mga copper, may mga gold, no, they are mined. What all means is that humankind is exposed to toxicity na gawa ng digital waste that is generated from all of that technological advances. So despite our gains due to growing development, ang information age or information technology and yung mabilis na pag-upgrade ng information also has disadvantages which I already mentioned before. And this lesson will discuss the history and impact of technological advancement to our society. So, information or ang information nga or ang buhay natin ay accompanied na by the endless transmission ng information that takes place within and outside of our body. So, according to Webster's Encyclopedic and Abridged Dictionary, ang information daw is knowledge communicated or obtained concerning a fact or circumstance. So, information is very important tool for the survival. So the information age is defined as a period starting in the last quarter of 20th century kung saan ang information ay naging effortlessly accessible dahil sa mga publications and through the management of information by computers and computer networks. So that means of conveying symbolic information na-convey ng computers yung symbolic information na tinatawag natin. For example, is writing, no, math, or the codes, no, that has evolved ng napakabilis. In the information age is also called the digital age and the new media age because it was associated with the development of computers. And according to James R. Messenger, no, James R. Messenger proposed the theory of information age in 1982. So the information age is true new age because upon the interconnection of computers via telecommunications with these information systems operating on both a real-time and as needed basis. So furthermore, ang primary factors that drives this new age forward are convenience and user friendliness, which in turn will create our dependence. So short history or brief history of the information age noong 300 or 3000 BC. Sumerian writing system used pictographs to represent words. So pictographs, yan yung mga nakakikita natin usually doon sa mga drawings sa caves. No, picture siya pero writing system talaga siya ng mga Sumerians. Para siyang drawing 'di ba ng mga picture at ng mga ginagawa nila, but that represents words. So 2900 BC, that is the beginning of Egyptian hieroglyphic writing. 1300 BC, the tortoise shell and oracle bone writing were used. 500 BC, papyrus roll was used. Papyrus roll is yun yung ginagamit yung nakikita nyo sa pagka may mga nagpapadala ng sulat yung mga hari, reyna, yung naka-roll. So that is the papyrus roll. So 220 BC, Chinese small seal writing was developed. Yung uh, pagsulat ng mga Chinese. So 100 AD, book or parchment codex. 105 AD, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press using movable metal type. 1455, Samuel Johnson's dictionary standardized English spelling. 1755, the Library of Congress was established. Invention of the carbon arc lamp and the research on the persistence of vision published. And so on. No? So, hindi ko na siya isa-isahin kasi medyo mahaba siya. Okay. So, proceed tayo dito kay um, information age ni Richard Wurman. So, during the 1980s, now Richard Wurman called it as information anxiety. And during 1990s, information became the currency in the business world. So, as man evolve, ang information and ang dissemination natin, syempre, mag-i-evolve din in many ways. And eventually, we no longer keep them for ourselves. Instead, sinishare natin. No? Just like yung Kipo, no? The Kipo is an information system kung saan iilan or only experts lang ang kayang or authorized person lang ang kayang magbasa ng information na yon. But then, ibig sabihin lang, hindi sinishare yung information. So, nowadays, no, we no longer keep informations for ourselves. Well, in fact, even yung ating private information is nasi-share natin sa social media. So, we share and we manage them in different means na. Sabi nga, information daw got ahead of us. Mas mataas na sa atin ang information. And it started to grow at a rate where we are unprepared to handle dahil sa abundance ng information. Mahirap na itong i-collect and i-manage. And nag-start yan noong 1960s and 1970s during the 1980s. So information was preferred medium exchange, and the information manager serves as the information officers. So in the present generation, there is no doubt that information has turned out to be a commodity, an overdeveloped product, mass-produced and unspecialized. Soon, we become overloaded with it. Ngayon pa nga lang overloaded na tayo. Kaya nga, nagkakaroon ng fake news sa sobrang dami ng information available. No? So, it will produce overdeveloped products dahil napakadali na ring um, i-search or information is available kung paano gawin or paano i-do it yourself yung mga products na nilalabas sa mass natin. So magkakaroon ng mass produce dahil napakabilis na ng production, napakabilis na uh, ng machines natin. Nag-produce ng machines dahil ang dami ng machines and mas portable na ngayon. No? Even sa bahay, kaya mo nang gumawa. So, we have the different authors diverse contrasting ideas on the evolution of the information age. Well, in spite, we can still say that information is a very important tool that helps improve our way of life. But one thing is for sure, ang information age will continue to move forward and far greater than our minds could imagine. So in his article, sa article ni Robert Harris, Truths of Information Age, he detailed some facts on the information age. Number one daw is the information must compete. So there is a need for information to stand out and be recognized in the increasing latter. So according to this statement, ang information must need to be or to have the uniqueness that will make it recognizable without distorting the message. So for example, to make the information stand out, it can be treated as scarce. So scarce meaning insufficient for the demand, meaning limited edition, kumbaga. So that ang information appears special than the readily available one. It creates competitiveness among the informations. Kumbaga yung information mo is unique, walang katulad. So that it will stand out. So next is number 2 is newer is equated with truer. So we forget that truth that any fact or value can endure. So, itong statement naman na to points out the obsession that the current people have with new information and associating it with trueness. So, ang mga tao ngayon, they will always be ready to accept yung mga bago and improved versions ng information. Para lang rin yung chismis, no? Mas pinaniniwala ng tao yung mga bago at mas improved versions ng information. So, next, number 3 is selection is a viewpoint. No, so we'll choose multiple sources for your information if you want to receive a more balanced view of reality. So in simplest form, no, magbasa ka ng mas maraming information para mas balance yung reality or yung paniniwala mo. Wag lang one-sided yung ating paniniwalaan. It's like reading history. No? Sa history, dapat babasahin mo parehas na parehas na side so that you will balance your point of view sa reality. Next is the media sells what the culture buys. So in other words, information is driven by cultural priorities. So kung ano yung nasa culture, yun yung paniniwalaan natin. Okay, so next is the early words get the perm. So the first media channel to expose an issue often defines the context, the terms, and attitude surrounding it. So it's like sa social media, kung sino yung unang nakapag-expose ng issue, then yun yung magiging baseline para doon sa mga context, sa mga terms, and doon sa mga bago pang information na ilalabas. Number 6, you are what you eat, so is your brain. So that is true. Do not draw conclusions unless lahat ng ideas and information ay na-present sa'yo. So, parang connected yan doon sa um, selection is a viewpoint. No? Para balance yung iyong um, point of view or yung reality or yung view mo sa reality. Kasi kung ano yung paniniwalaan mo, yun ka. Parang ganun eh. Okay, number 7, anything in great demand will be counterfeited. So the demand for incredible knowledge, scandals, and secrets is ever present. Hence, many events are fabricated by tabloids, publicists, or other agents of information fraud. So, lahat ng demand sa information or yung mataas ang demand ay kina-counterfeit. Kasi nga, um, tawag dito, we have freedom. So, yan. Next is ideas are seen as controversial. It is almost certainly impossible to make any assertions that will not find some supporters and some detractors. So, lahat ng information ay controversial. It's either you support or you detract that. Controversial yan. So, undead information walks ever on. So, rumors, lies, disinformation, and gossips never truly die down. No, they persist and continue to circulate even you are dead. So, kapag ka nagkaroon ka ng issue, kahit patay ka na, nandiyan pa din yung rumors regarding sa'yo. So, media presence create the story. People behave much differently from the way they would if they being filmed when the media represent, especially film, news, or television media. So, yung mga personality, no, sa media or sa television, sa news, no, they created story. Yan kasi, yan ang trabaho ng media. No, the presence create the story. They or nagke-create sila ng story but different, no? They are different form from the way they would. Number 11 is the medium selects the message. So, television is mainly pictorial. They are partially oral and slightly textual. So, visual stories are emphasized, fires, chases, and disasters. So, yung mga napapanood natin sa media, sa news, they are selected and they are pictorial, meaning ine-emphasize nila para mas maganda yung visual natin doon sa mapapanood natin dun sa kalalabasan ng stories. Ini-edit nila yon most likely para maging oral, maging kaaya-aya sa paningin ng mga manonood. So, last is the whole truth is a pursuit. So, the information that reaches us is usually selected. They are verbally charged, they are filtered, they are slanted, and sometimes fabricated. So, what is neglected is often even more important than what is included. So, kagaya na lang rin sa history natin, hindi lahat is nakasulat. Hindi lahat is um, hindi lahat is nakapublic, no? So they are selected. So pagka nagkukuwento ka na nga lang ng information about sa'yo so pinipili mo yung mga information or yung mga ikakwento mo kahit kaibigan mo pa siya, no? There is some uh, information na hindi mo talaga sinasabi sa iba pagka nagkakwento ka. But, minsan nga, ine-emphasize pa natin. So, pero meron din namang iba na the whole information or the whole truth is sinasabi. But, limited yon. No, limited yung ganon. Karaniwan talaga sa kwento natin is selected or verbally charged, filtered, yung information. Now, since ang pagbilis ng information is due to computer, no? So what is computer? No, computers are among the most important contributions sa advancement or advances ng information age natin. So computer is an electronic devices that stores and processes data or information, and it runs on a program that contains the exact step-by-step directions to solve a problem. And that step-by-step directions is what we call algorithms, no, in computer terms, technically. So types of computers. So we have personal computer or the PC. So it is a single user instrument. PCs were first known as microcomputers since they were a complete computer but built on a smaller scale than the enormous systems operated by most businesses. So another type of computer is a desktop computer. No, it is described as a PC. Then that is not designed for portability kasi ito ay naka-fix sa isang position. No, naka-fix siya or naka-set up siya sa isang permanent spot. And it has more ano ang pinagkaiba niya doon sa PC, no, ang desktop computer, mas marami siyang powerful processor. No? And mas malaki yung kanyang memory or kaya niyang mag-add ng memory capacity, no? Ma-enhance yung capabilities ng memory para makapag-perform siya ng special group of tasks gaya ng 3D graphics, no, or game development and so on. So karamihan sa desktop natin, they offer more storage, more power versatility than their portable versions or laptops natin. So, mas advanced yung desktop computers when it comes to the capabilities of performing some tasks. Next is the um, laptops. So, laptops, these are portable computers that integrated the essentials of a desktop computer in a battery-powered package, which are somewhat larger than a typical hardcover book. So, ang laptops natin, ang pinagkaiba lang niyan sa PC is battery-operated siya. No? Yung portability niya, no? Kaya natin siyang madala anytime, anywhere. So, next is the personal digital assistant. So, these are tightly integrated computers that usually have no keyboards but rely on touchscreen for user input. So, that are personal digital assistants, but now we have tablets, we have iPads. So, ang PDAs, no, or personal digital assistants, they are typically smaller than a paperback, and it is also battery operated. So, ang modern version niyan ngayon is the tablets. So, server. Now, server, it refers to a computer that has been improved to provide network services to other computers. So, servers usually boost powerful processors and tons of memory and large hard drives. Yan ang ginagawa ng ating servers. So, servers, most commonly, ginagamit yan ng mga big firms. So, meron tayong servers para makapag-accommodate tayo sa OMSC. No? Meron tayong servers para makapag-accommodate tayo ng maraming data. So, mainframes naman, these are huge computer systems that can fill an entire room. So, as you can see, no, napakalaki niya, para na siyang drawer or para siyang locker. No? Ang mainframe were also called as enterprise server. And usually, ginagamit yan, especially ng mga large films, para i-describe yung large and expensive machines that process millions of transactions every day. So, ang mga mainframes, karamihan ay ginagamit ng mga malalaking kumpanya ng social media. So, YouTube, Facebook, Google, no, napakarami nilang mainframes. So, although meron tayong supercomputers, but these are single computers lang na hindi kayang i-accommodate yung mga yung million of transactions or million of transfers ng data every day. No? So, ang supercomputer natin or single computer systems lang, most comprised by multiple high-performance parallel computers working as a single system. But these are working on a multiple transactions or multiple machines. Now, these wearable computers involve materials that are usually integrated into cell phones, watches, and other small objects or places. No, so, ang wearable computers natin is connected sa ating devices yan. So, para siya ay ma-monitor natin. And they perform common computer applications gaya ng mga databases. No, they notify emails, multimedia schedulers, and many more. So, the World Wide Web or the Internet. So, several historians trace the origin of the Internet to Claude E. Shannon. Si Claude E. Shannon is an American mathematician who was considered as the father of information theory. So, he worked at the Bell Laboratories. Now, Bell Laboratory is a laboratory na ginagawa or gumagawa ng mga computer programming or mga IDEs, no? Integrated Development, ano yun eh, kalimutan ko na. Basta yun, mga computer programming ang laboratory, ginagawa niya. So, at the age of 32, nakapag-publish siya ng paper proposing that information can be quantitatively encoded as a sequence of ones and zeros. So, when we say ones and zeros, yan yung language uh, ng ating computer. So, ang tawag dyan ay binary, 1 and 0. So, machine language is binary language lang. Oh, it consists of ones and zeros. For example, yung letter A na yan, ang katumbas na language niyan, or ang katumbas na, ang katumbas na language niya sa computer is 101101. For example lang yon. Oh, so, yan. So, kapag ka magta-type tayo sa computer, for example, yung letter A na yan, i-convert pa yan ng computer into a machine language para ma-display ng computer system sa ating monitor. So, that is quantitative encoded or the sequence of ones and zero. So, internet. Now, internet is a worldwide system of interconnected networks. So, napakalaki ng influence ng internet sa information age. Because of this, no, napakabilis ng transaction natin. Napakabilis ng transfer ng data and ng information. So, it is a system of interconnected networks that facilitate that data transmission among innumerable computers. So, it was developed during the 1970s by the Department of Defense. So, Department of Defense lang ang gumagamit ng internet back then in case of an attack. No, the military advisors suggested that ang advantage ng being able to operate on one computer from another terminal is very beneficial para sa kanila in case of an attack. Kasi, for example, kung meron mang mag-attack sa kanila at nasira yung mga computers, at least there is another terminal na pwede nilang pagkunan ng mga data. So, dati, ang internet was used only by by the government and the scientists para makapag-communicate to other scientists. So, the internet remained under government control until 1984. And one problem or one early problem na kinahaharap ng internet users was the speed, no? Before kasi napakabagal talaga ng internet natin. It was 2G, no? Naalala ko may 2G, 1G pa noon. And ngayon may 5G na. So, ang phone lines natin could only transmit dati ng information at a limited rate kasi um, sobrang bagal niya. Kaya sobrang bagal niya. Pero ngayon, nakapag-develop ng fiber optic cables na kayang mag-transfer ng billions of information and kaya makareceive ng information every minute. So, karamihan sa mga companies na yan ay gumagamit na ngayon like PLDT, Globe Smart, lahat ng mga telecommunication companies natin and others, no, to transmit data or information faster. So, syempre, nakapag-develop din ang mga computer companies ng mas faster microprocessors din para sa mga PC na kayang mag-process ng incoming signals at a more rapid rate para makasabay siya dun sa advances ng fiber optics. Kasi kung napakabilis ng pag-face ng information at mabagal yung ating PC, no, hindi niya kayang i-accommodate yung mabilis ang pagpasa at pag-transfer ng data is bibigay yung ating system. No? So, nag-develop din sila ng mas faster microprocessors. So, next, internet or si Sergey Brin and si Larry Page. No, they are the directors of a Stanford research project. No, after several talkings with their family and friends and other investors into nakapag-contribute sila ng $1 million, nag-launch sila ng company in 1998. That was the Google Now. No, Google is now the world's most popular search engine that accepts more than 200 million queries daily. So, nag-build sila ng search engine that listed results to reflect page popularity when they determined that the most popular result would frequently be the most usable. So, back then, the new forms of communication were also introduced. May electronic mail or email na siya ngayon. Consequently, ang mga companies whose business are built on digitized information have more valuable and powerful and in a relatively short period of time. In the current information age was spawned its own breed of wealthy, influential brokers gaya nila Bill Gates ng Microsoft, no, Apple, si Steve Jobs or si Mark Zuckerberg ng Facebook dahil dito sa search engine na yan. So now, how to check the reliability of web sources? Since napakadami na nga ng information ngayon, no, we are surrounded by information. Papaano ba natin ma-check kung reliable yung pinagkunan natin ng information? Saan ba tayo madalas kumuha? Of course, sa web sources lang din. So how to check? Number one, the internet contains a vast collection of highly valuable information, but it may also contain unreliable biased information that mislead people. So, number one, who is the author of the article or the site? So, kikilalanin or titignan natin kung may author ba yung site. No? How to find out? Look for an about. So, lahat ng websites ay merong about or more about the author. Link on the top, bottom, or sidebar of the web page. So, this is for example an about of a web page. No, so, ang author is si Sherry. So, titingnan nyo lagi kung may author. Now, meron siyang author. Does the author provide his or her credentials? So, meron ba siyang bio? No? What type of expertise does he or she have on the subject he or she is writing about? Does he or she indicate what his or her education is? No. Yung educational qualifications niya ba is included doon sa web sources. What type of experience does he or she have? Should you trust his or her knowledge of the subject? Kung meron ba siyang experience regarding dong sa sinusulat niya, for example, that is academic, no? Siya ba ay naging professor to some universities or what? No? So, titignan niyo rin kung connected yung kanyang writings doon sa, or yung kanyang article sa kanyang bio. So, try searching on the web, on the internet for the information about the author. Now, kung hindi provided ang bio ng author, no, try nyo siyang i-search. Ano ba yung mga websites that are associated with the author's name? Kasi, kung siya ay magaling na author or siya ay reliable na author, hindi lang iisa ang kanyang articles. No? Meron siyang mga articles na kasama ang ibang authors. No? kung siya ba ay affiliated with any education institutions, siya ba ay professor, instructor, or some psychiatrist, kung ano ba siya. No, do commercial sites come up? Do the websites associated with the author give you any clues to particular biases or the author might have? Kung meron bang bias or may kinakalaban ba siyang articles? So, how to find out kung sino yung nag-publish ng site? Number 2, no? Una is kikilalanin nyo kung sino yung author ng site. Number 2, kung sino yung nag-publish ng site. So, how to find out? Look at the domain name of the website. That will tell you who is hosting the site. So, i-search nyo yung domain name. Now, this is an example of a domain name. So, this site provides information about the owners of registered domain names. So, do not ignore the suffix on the domain name. So, the suffix is, for example, .sc. So, keep in mind that it is possible for sites to obtain suffixes that are misleading. Examples, .edu. So, .edu is, for example, educational. So, sa atin, ang ating um, website is .edu kasi education tayo. So, .com, this is commercial. .org is organization or non-profit. .mil is military. And .gov is government. So, yan yung mga suffixes natin. Now, how to check the reliability of web sources? Number 3, what is the main purpose of the site? Why did the author write it and why did the publisher post it? Ano ba yung purpose nun? Is it for academe lang? Is it for ibabanggain yung ibang sites? Is it for commercial, for information dissemination lang? Who is the intended audience? What is the quality of information provided on the website? So, in quality, we have timeliness. So, so number 3, what is the main purpose of the site? Is it to sell product? No. Or is it for a personal hobby lang? Or for a public service? Or for further scholarship on some topic? Or provide general information sa isang topic? So, number 4, who is intended audience? Is it for scholars, for students, for general public, or group? No, or is it written for a group or for a particular geographic area? Saan ba? Number 5, what is the quality of information provided on the website? No, when was the website published? So, ang timeliness niya, kailan ba siya na-publish? Ina-update ba siya? Does the author cite sources? Meron bang ibang sources na sinite yung ating author? So you will check the dates of at the bottom of each page on the site. Kung um, yan. Kung nag-source ba ng other site ang author natin, so that is reliable or it is considered reliable. Now, what type of other sites does the website link to? Kung yung mga sources ba na sinite niya is related doon sa topic or sa article. What, yeah. Next, so we have example of useful and reliable web sources. So yeah, number 1 is AFA, e-newsletter. So these are the Alzheimer's Foundation of America newsletter. American Memory, the Library of Congress Historical Digital Collection, bartleby.com. So these are the great books online. These are a collection of free ebooks including fictions, non-fictions, reference, and verses. So chronicling America, search and view pages from American newspapers, and so on. Yan. So cyberbullying, a free collection of ebooks from eLibrary Plus, and additional reports and documents to help better understand, prevent, and take actions against the growing concerns. Drug information websites, we have National Library of Medicines or Medicine Plus, drugs.com, PDR Health, the Global Gateway or World Culture and Resources from the Library of Congress, Google Books, we have googlescholar.com. Kilala nyo to si Google Scholar. No? History sites with primary documents. So, yan. Amdocs documents. Avalon Project, Internet Modern History Resource. So, these are electronic libraries. So, yan. Illinois Digital Archives, Internet Archives, IP12, Internet Public Library, and so on. So, yan. Nursing sites, also Nation Masters, Project Gutenberg. So, these are the first and largest single collection of free electronic books. They have 2,000 ebooks available. Yes. Yan. Okay, so hindi ka na ipapagawa tong creative work since of ano na tayo, finals na. So that's all. And if you have any questions, you can comment dito mismo sa video sa ating Google Classroom. So thank you so much and good evening everyone.